Hello everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Gayatri Shinde. I have more than a 1.5 year of experience in IT field, and I am associate software engineer from MED team. So these are the content of today. I'm giving the session on minimal API and REST API. So these are the content that we will see today. What is REST API? Architecture of REST API, features of REST API, REST API methods. Then what is minimal API? How to create minimal API project, features of minimal API methods, and then we'll see minimal API project. Okay. Now, what is REST API? We all know that the REST API is a communication. We use REST API as a communication purpose between the client and the server. So we can call REST API from the various devices. Okay, we can call single REST API from various devices like mobile, laptop, desktop, tab. So yeah, this is a web REST API. So REST API, it is an architecture style as well as an approach for communication purpose that is often using various web services development. Now, we all know the acronym of REST API is representational state transfer, but many of us don't know that why we call it as REST means why we call it as representational state transfer. So I'll explain you with one example. So suppose one scenario that client is requesting something, to the server. Okay. So in this, what REST API will do, REST API create one object and then send the values of that object to the server. So here REST API is not sending the actual object, it is sending the values of that object. Values mean the state of that object. So that's where the term comes, representational state transfer. It is representing the state of the object. So we don't need to create each and every time the new object. It just represents the state of that object and it transfers the state of that object between client and the server. That's why we call it as representation state transfer. Okay. Then REST API architecture. So you all can see here various different REST client is calling this HTTP method. Okay. So it is not directly communicating with the server. First, it will send the data to this HTTP method in the form of JSON and XML. Then this method will get the data and then convert that data into the HTTP or HTTPS protocol and send the data for the processing purpose to the server. Then server will do processing and return the response back to this method. And then this method will return the data back to the respective client in the form of JSON and XML. So here we can send data either in the form of JSON or XML. What these are? This is interchangeable data transfer. Means it is human readable. Like JSON is JavaScript object notation and XML is extensible markup language. So the difference between of both is that JSON is in the form of key value pair and XML is much similar like the HTML. But HTML is a predefined text and XML here, the author of the XML can define the text according to them. So both are human readable. Okay. So let's move forward. Now here are the features of REST API. So REST API is simpler than SOAP. It has a proper documentation and it has a proper logging of error messages. So we all know that before REST came into the SOAP came into the reality. Then after that, REST took over the world, and now REST is more simpler and easier than SOAP. Okay. Then coming to the documentation, REST API has a proper and good documentation so that we can easily understand each and every step, how to create REST API using various technology, various framework, and how to embed that for an application. And finally, coming to the error messages. So error messages, it has a proper login information of error messages. I'll explain you this with one example. Suppose we are creating one application using REST API for any specific framework, and if we are stuck somewhere, then it will show the proper error messages. Logging, it will log the proper error messages so that we can get that messages and come to know that where the problem is and can debug the code accordingly. So yeah, these are the features of REST API. Minimal API are architected to create HTTP APIs with minimal dependencies. They are ideal for microservices and apps that want to include only the minimal files, features, and dependencies in ASP.NET Core. Okay. Now, at first glance, it seems that minimal API are Microsoft answer to Node.js with Express.js HTTP server that provides minimal APIs. So, look at carefully this fourth statement. What it is saying that Microsoft is giving the answer to the Node.js. So that's what we get new feature in minimal API. So, okay, I hope you all get this. So let's see how to create projects using minimal API in .NET 6. So these are the tools that we will require before creating the new project in minimal API. So we have to first download .NET 6 SDK and ASP.NET Core runtime. Along with that, it is necessary to have Visual Studio 2022 because .NET 6 is not supported in Visual Studio 2019. So it is necessary to have Visual Studio 2022 for creating the project using minimal API. Now, first we'll create a new template, ASP.NET Core empty template in Visual Studio 2022. Then we will go with the default. Only we will select here the .NET 6 framework, and then we click on the create button. Then the project will create with the program.cs file. So we can see only this file, program.cs file, with only 4 lines of code. Okay, so all the it is comes like this only with minimum code. So if we run this code, then we will get output something like this: hello world. So here, what is happening? What these 4 lines of code are telling us that web application. This web application class handles the app startup, lifetime management, and configuration files, and many more things. So here, web application class is calling the static method create builder to create the instance of this builder. This builder instance again called the build class, build method, to create the instance of application instance. Okay, then this application instance is calling the map-get method. This map-get method is an inline lambda expression. So here we are calling hello world. Then again it is called the run method to run the application. So this is how it works. Then this is the output after running the code. Then what's the main feature that we are getting in the .NET 6 minimal API? There is no startup file, no API controller, and no extra dependencies. So it is just simple and efficient code we'll get. Okay. So, okay. I hope you all get one thing here, means you have observed. You might be wondering that we used to see here using statements, but in minimal API it is not visible. So let's see what happened. There is another new feature that is introduced in .NET 6, that is implicit global using. So what is implicit globals using? It is automatically generate invisible using statements and declares them globally. So you don't have to deal with the clutter of declaring namespaces repeatedly in every single file. Means earlier what happened, we used to write using statement in each and every file repeatedly. Okay, so that it get removed in this .NET 6 this is a new feature, and this is a very good feature that we got in this .NET 6. So wait. I'll explain this. Wait. Okay. This is my project. If I open the chproj file here, it is already open. So you all can see it is implicit using this property is there. Okay. So it is enable. If I enable this property, then it will allow you to create different files where you can define all your using statements. If I hover over this method is over this property, then what it will enable implicit global using for the C# project. Okay, so this property will get in .NET 6, which will enable us to create the different files where we can introduce all the where it will automatically introduce all the dependencies, all the using statement that we will require in the project. So that's the new feature that we get. Then okay. Okay, you may check object debug .NET 6 folder to see the hidden. Okay, where we will find this using statement, that auto-generated using statement, project name dot global using dot g dot cs. With this name we'll find. Okay, let's see. This is my project folder. In object folder, in debug folder, in .NET 6 folder, there is one. Okay, I guess this is bank data with minimal API dot global using dot g dot cs. If I open this file, so this is the auto generated using statement that we used to see in .NET 5. So all these are declared in just one file. This is all auto generated. So if we want, we can declare it in some different file also. So it's all depend on us what we want. You can define a separate class to keep all your using statement in one place. Okay. Then okay, now what about post, put, delete? We have already seen the get method here. So here web application builder has separate method for those requests. Here we'll not use the post, put, delete like REST API. We'll use here app.map post, app.map put, and app.map delete for the CRUD operation. So this is different than the REST API. Then now let's see how the minimal API looks with the proper CRUD operation and how it works. I'll tell you with my project that I have created using minimal API. So this is my project. So starting with the program.cs file. When I first created this project, it only comes with the program.cs file, nothing else. Okay. So first it is creating the builder object. Okay. Then what it is doing, it is we are defining here the connection string. I hope you all aware with this.
Yes, we are aware from that how we can define a connection string in the program.cs file.
Yeah, right.
For dependency injection.
Yeah, right. Then here I am doing some configuration for the Swagger, for using the Swagger in my project. So yeah, after that here I am creating the app instance by calling this build method of builder class. Then by using this app instance, this configuration we are configuring this for the HTTP request pipeline. Okay. After that, this use HTTP. Oh, what happened? Okay. After that, app.use HTTP redirection. This is a middleware for redirecting the HTTP request to HTTPS. Okay. This is one middleware that we are using here. Here in account API, I have created one class account API where I have created one method map account route. So here this method name I am providing there as an endpoint, and I'm mapping this method there. So in this method I have done the CRUD operation. First is get all accounts. So here I'm using the map get method for getting all the accounts list. Then the second one I am using the again get method for account list whose balance is greater than 5,000. So जिसका बैलेंस 5,000 से ज्यादा होगा उसके मीन्स सारे अकाउंट्स के डिटेल यहाँ पे आएंगे. Then we'll get the get account list whose account type is saving. Okay, so I have used some condition here for that. Then after then here I am getting get by ID. So boolean I have used here. If I get the bank account data, then it will send OK, and if not, then it will send not found. So this is a post method that I am using here, and then this is a delete method. So here I am passing the URL API for routing purpose, and also bank account object and the DB context object. Thank you. Thank you all.